All right, let's go to our top story now. And our reporter Karen Morn is standing by with Sean Abrams to get reaction to what he just announced.
Hello, Shahan. Of course, speaking to Advocate Sean Abrams after quite strong statements from him, particularly regarding the matter of Pravin Gordan. Since last we spoke, you said, look, you didn't want to say whether or not he was a suspect. It was inappropriate to ask those kind of questions. Now you are saying categorically there is no truth to any allegation that he's being investigated for espionage. Why did you believe it was so important to be so clear on this issue?
I was deeply concerned as to the statements that have been made publicly over the last few days. It had a completely negative effect on the economy of the country. It had completely negative political connotations and social connotations. And I felt it's in the interest of the country to address the country and take the country into my confidence on the issue. I felt it was a lot of damage was being done by the unnecessary comments that have been made without people having access to the available evidence and knowing what's going on in respect of the investigation. Of course, it's improper for anybody to try and peep over the shoulder or the shoulders of investigating authorities when they're conducting any sort of investigations. And to conduct an investigation of this nature in the public sphere does not bode well, both for the administration of justice and both for the current climate we find ourselves in as a country. So, I felt that I had to intervene.
As it stands now, we are not going to see a scenario where our finance minister is getting arrested.
Absolutely not. I've given my undertaking. Insofar as it's within my powers and authority, Minister Pravin Gordan will not be arrested. He is not the subject of espionage-related investigations, and I wanted to lay all the rumors to rest.
Is he the subject of any investigation that you can talk about at this stage?
Unfortunately, I cannot comment on the investigation conducted by the Hawks. Safe to say, it's an investigation in respect of the so-called rogue unit.
Moving on, of course, to the decision to appeal the President Jacob Zuma spy tapes decision. I'm sure you're aware that many will perceive this as yet another attempt by you to delay the process of prosecuting the president, and that, again, you will face accusations that you are merely a political lackey. I mean, how do you hope to counter that kind of perception, or can you?
I can assure you I'm not a political lackey. Of course, this is a matter that affects the National Prosecuting Authority. It affects the work of each and every prosecutor. It affects each and every citizen that's the subject of a prosecutorial decision or prosecutorial discretion that has to be exercised. We, of course, would like this matter to be resolved as soon as possible so we can have finality on the matter. It's in everybody's interest for this matter to be resolved as soon as possible. We have embarked upon this route because a lot of groundwork has to be done, and we felt it was important to show confidence in the Supreme Court of Appeal in consideration of the matter, because, as you know, this matter has been before the Supreme Court of Appeal in a different capacity, and we felt we should give the Supreme Court of Appeal an opportunity, to deliberate and ventilate the legal issues at play in the event the matter does eventually end up in the Constitutional Court.
Will this matter have any impact on the Mdluli cases? We know that he's currently being prosecuted for murder. There's still decisions that have to be made about the corruption case. But will this in any way, this principle that you say you're fighting for, the NPA independence, will that impact in any way on the Mdluli cases?
I'm extremely pleased you've raised the issue about the Mdluli matter, particularly the corruption matter, around Mr. Mdluli. I'm personally looking at that matter. I've met with both the Acting National Commissioner of Police. I've also met with the head of the DPCI in respect of the matter. You'd recall the matter was struck from the roll as a direct result of the issue around the declassification of certain evidence. We're in the process of clearing that up, and I'm very optimistic that I'd be in a position in weeks to come to make a decision in respect of that matter, to bring finality there too as well, so that we can eliminate any degree, of rumors around this matter as well.
You've said that you wanted the Zuma matter resolved as soon as possible. What kind of timelines are you hoping for? How soon can we have a ruling in this case?
we're now in the hands of the full bench of the Pretoria High Court, and hopefully after that we'll be in the hands of the Supreme Court of Appeal. And, if not, we'll then have to, look at what our legal options are thereafter and give due consideration to our legal options at the appropriate time. So I'm not going to speculate, on which route we'll embark upon. We'll be guided by, and let's give space, to the full bench of the Pretoria High Court to consider this matter.
And then finally, as you're well aware, the Western Cape High Court not so long ago dismissing the DA's application regarding your staff member Nonqobo Jiba for her suspension. Do you have any immediate reaction to that ruling?
I've just heard about the ruling. Of course, I'm extremely pleased about the ruling. I would like to study the judgment before I comment thereon. However, you'd recall, I took over when the NPA found itself with the lowest morale since its inception. And it was regrettable that some issues had to be ventilated, in court papers in respect of that matter. But other than that, I hope we can now move forward as an institution in delivering justice to the people of this country.
Thank you very much. That was Advocate Shaun Abrahams, National Director of Public Prosecutions, speaking out about rumours of the imminent arrest of Pravin Gordan, categorically denying that he is suspected of any espionage related to the so-called spy rogue unit saga, and also explaining his decision on why the NPA has chosen to appeal against the spy tapes ruling.